Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Andy Drifter here with some SGC reveals, 5 to be exact. For the most part, I was pleased with the grades that I got. Let's start off with this 2022 Topps Chrome Purple Refractor of Rays shortstop Wander Franco. It is numbered 11 out of 250, and it came back as a 9. Franco is all the rage amongst collectors. He burst on the scene in 2021. And in 70 games, he posted a batting average of .288, along with an OPS of .810. He exhibited tremendous plate discipline, only striking out 37 times. And he had a 43-game streak of reaching base safely. Expectations were high for the 2022 season, but his play was limited to just 83 games due to a wrist injury. He finished with a .277 batting average along with a .746 OPS. The Rays, they are all in on the Wander Franco business. He's got an 11-year contract worth $182 million. He's got a chance to make more through incentives. Kind of bummed that this card came back as a 9. I pulled this out of a blaster box. I've seen SGC 10s go for over $300. So I guess a fair evaluation of this card would be $150 to $175. Hopefully he can stay healthy next year and we can see what Wander Franco can do over the course of a full season. But he is a big part of the Rays' future. And perhaps one day he can help bring a World Series title to Tampa. Bobby Witt Jr. finished 4th in this year's AL Rookie of the Year voting behind Stephen Kwan of the Indians, Adley Rutschman of the Orioles, and Julio Rodriguez of the Mariners. I don't think it was a shock to anyone that J-Rod took home the hardware. Bobby Witt led all rookies in extra base hits with 57. That was comprised of 31 doubles, 6 triples, and 20 home runs. He also led all rookies in RBI and stolen bases. But he was on the Royals, and they were terrible this year. They finished in last in the AL Central. Kwan and Julio Rodriguez made playoff appearances, and Adley Rutschman and the Orioles, they were in the mix up until the end. They did not make the playoffs. Bobby Witt's on-base percentage was a bit low as well, just below 300. His defense was shaky at times, but he had a very nice rookie campaign. I think he is a star in the making with a nice blend of speed and power. This card is numbered 1155 out of 2022. I pulled this out of a blaster box. I've seen the raw versions of this card go for $100. So I would imagine that a 9.5 would fetch a pretty penny. But for the time being, I am going to hang on to this card and see what he does in the future. So I was somewhat disappointed at the grading of this card. This is a 2011 Allen and Ginter red ink auto of world-renowned chef Daniel Boulud. You might be inclined to say Daniel, but his first name is pronounced Daniel. He hails from France. This is limited to just 10 autos. And it came back as an 8. He is the reigning best restaurateur in the world. He's got eateries all over the world. 7 in New York City, where he lives. He has lived there for over 40 years. His flagship restaurant, Danielle, in Manhattan, is quite the spot. You can expect to pay upwards of $300 per meal. I'll pass on that. No, thank you. As far as the value of this card, I have no idea. I mean, if Daniel Boulud walked into a Target or a Walmart, how many people would know who he is? I'm going to guess for every 10, less than 5, and I'm being generous with that evaluation. But this card is an eye catcher, an absolute beauty. I know these thicker cards don't always grade so well with SGC or PSA, but it's something unique to add to my collection. He's got a beautiful signature, and it's just something I'm going to hang on to for the time being. So that's the third card that I have for you. At the time that I submitted this card, Zach Ertz was the #1 tight end for the Cardinals. Shortly thereafter, he suffered a season-ending knee injury. So now Trey McBride, he is the #1 guy at tight end for the Cardinals. He was a second-round draft pick out of Colorado State. On Monday, in that bad loss against the 49ers, McBride, he caught 4 catches for just 14 yards. Arizona, right now they are 4-7. Their season is not going well, but they're only 2 games back of the Seahawks and the Niners. They're going to need Kyler Murray to come back. I'm not a huge believer in Murray, but he is certainly better than Colt McCoy. They got a pretty tough schedule ahead. I think they play the Chargers next. They got the Falcons, the Broncos, the Niners for the last game of the season. So yeah, they're going to need guys like D-Hop and McBride to step it up. I was lucky enough to pull this out of a wax pack of 2022 Legacy Football. It is a Sapphire variant, 33 out of 35. SGC gave the auto a 10, and the overall grading a 9.5. In these SGC reveals, I always save the best for last. This card here is an absolute beauty. A 2020 Panini Select Gold Prism Auto of Rob Gronkowski, a.k.a. Gronk, numbered 8 out of 10. SGC gave it 10s all around. Gronk, a 5-time Pro Bowler, 4-time All-Pro. He's got 4 rings. He retired once in 2019, only to come back the following year and join Tom Brady and the Bucs in that Super Bowl run. In June of this year, he announced his second retirement, and this time I think it's for good. I mean, what purpose would it serve for him to come back? He's done it all. He's stamped his entry into the Hall of Fame. He's got various interests outside of football. In 2019, he was an analyst for Fox Sports, so perhaps he could return to doing that again. One of the most recognizable faces in football, despite his retirement. Always a fan favorite, one of my favorites, Gronk. So that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed that. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. This will most likely be my only video of the day. So have a wonderful day. Happy Thanksgiving to all of you, and I'll see you again tomorrow.